Welcome back to another video. Here we are with the beginning of kind of the end of manufacturer series in GT Sport, and actually I think this is the last one, the manufacturer series or the FIA series Nations Cup that will be happening until probably the next Gran Turismo 7 comes out. Yeah, so until the next one. So it was a good race. The first one actually until I messed up, but we'll get to that. And also the second race was it was a good recovery, I might say. Still, the confidence is not really that high right now because of the first one, the first incident that happened. I think I got a little bit too worried about the tire and it got to my head. So, but anyway, we're gonna start it out. We're gonna start in Croatia, the Dragon Seaters, Dragon's Trail, I might say. This is the seaside. This is the correct way, like the dead chicane. It is a good opportunity, I might say, like to have some good points since my driver rating was up there, and I might say, not really the best, but good for mid good racing. So going into the first lobby, started in fourth. No, actually, not fourth. It is a fourth in the first race, but for this lobby I was ranked fourth, so it was really good. So good points to be earned. The first points were 102 for P1, then trickling down to 90s, 80s, 70s, and I couldn't really like capitalize on the first race. So the second race I tried as much as I can, but yeah, we're gonna get to those places as soon as possible. So going out for the qualifying lap, the first one I did make some few mistakes, so it wasn't really that high. Even though some people are making a one, the guy who made a 137.6, so would have made a 37.8. That was my optimum during qualifying, like before the restart, so we get some free time to test out the tires, and I did end up getting a 137.8. So it did go again for another lap, but I did make a 138.1, which in turn put me in P4, as you see there. And we could have, if we would maintain that, we could have got 90 plus points. So it would have been great for the championship, for my kind of championship. But yeah, here we are. So starting off P4, going down the straight, which is one of the longest straights, I might say, which is a good opportunity for overtakes. And going in first turn, the Aston Martin right there loses it completely, and also the Porsche gets pushed wide. So wasn't the best up to P2, but still a lot of contact going on through turn 1 and turn 2. And the Lexus in front of me, the guy from Luxembourg, he did really like maintain the first position. Like it was good until this point over here where I got familiar with the dead chicane, not kind of a half death, which got me into contention with the defending about second position with the German from behind me, and he did come back and give me the pressure, even if my tires were really wearing out, which my strategy was starting off on this race, starting off with the soft tires and ending off with the medium tires, which I should have done the reverse of it, which cause heavier car, more fuel, like the tire wear is going to be more, and the softer tires do degrade a little bit too much and as more than expected. So we just needed to have started with the medium tires, which would have taken us longer, and would have the tire on the medium tires is actually best, I might say, with the heavier car, that with the fuel and everything at the start of the race. So the German actually goes in, which makes me retain my second place, but there's a Portuguese driver behind me who's going to also go in for pit stop a little later, and I'm going to go in for the pit stop right now at the end of the 7th lap together with the other Lexus driver, and which is going to be a little bit more nerve-wracking because I'm going to be on the medium tires as people are going to turn into the softer tires for the better run to the end of the stint, to the end of the lap. So coming out P5, which is great until this a bit just earlier, I forgot to. I was a bit too early on the throttle and lost it here, which made me lose two positions, which is not the greatest. And even though I know probably they might go in for their pit stops as say at the end of the lap. As we start 2 laps later, I do go back to P4 where I started off, and here again I forgot to, I don't know, for some reason that spin round in the first after the pit stop made me lose a lot of confidence, and as you see here, losing a lot of time, losing a lot of positions. As you see, another spin round, and for some reason the car didn't want to like hook up. The tires were really hot, so the grip was really not there at all, and plus the dirty tires, because for some reason they got onto the grass. But anyway, all the way down into P11, which actually really demoralized me, even though there's a yellow flag, and then this Mercedes driver over here comes and pushed me wide, and which actually just in the long run just didn't really work in my favor at all, and I get another speed run because the tires were dirty and they're really worn, and which it was a bad start to the season, to the series, and I didn't really want to complete. Even I just lost all momentum, all the feel of driving and everything like that. I just had to quit and hope for the next one, because the guy in P1 was actually coming to overlap me for some reason. See there on the map in the top right, and so far so good. Even though I did try and catch up to them, still dirty tires, went a little bit too wide, hit the barrier there, which is not the greatest. It's not the greatest start to the race, and anyway, it's gonna get better. So for that thumbs up, please, will be much appreciated, and the sub also. So for the second one, I did qualify, not the best actually. Also did almost the same qualifying lap, but was met up with a faster lobby, I might say. So I ended up in P11. So I just needed to get to top 10 to at least get some good points, 70 or so, because the points were still the same, 102 for P1, and then trickling down. So far so good, trying to warm up the tires. So for this stint I tried to go with the medium tires at the start, and then softer tires for the second stint, and a little bit of an capitalization of the position there, but the Porsche that is in front of the Subaru right there took advantage of the Subaru going wide, and it's a big pack so far going into turn 5. So right here, braking a little bit more than usual, but the Lexus behind me also with the Austrian, who also had another Lexus. The South African going a little bit too wide there, losing momentum to the bottom of the going downhill, and he comes back for the lunge of the century, yeah? But it does make it clean. I actually saw him and had him through the headphones and saw him on the radar. So I did block him completely off to make him punt me off wide, and the Lexus that right there behind me is coming really quick. So going down here at the turn number 10, I might say. Oh, the South African making a mess out of that, which makes me dip 2 tires on top of the curb. They are really tall, which makes me lose like control, the stability of the car, and go into the barrier, which is not the greatest. And actually he gets the yellow flag there, which is him going into the barrier right there. It gets karma on him. So it's a good and bad things happening. So we're gonna continue that. And then the Aston Martin right here pushing I think that was a Mercedes into the wall right there. I think they had a lot of beef going on. So my main point of the race right here is just to catch up with the guys in front of me, making sure I capitalize on the mistakes done. As here another person gets served into the death penalty right here. Oh, almost goes into that actually was the Subaru who was ahead of me, and also this guy caught up with actually the other Polish guy, and I know, again, capitalizing on the mistakes of other people and making positions as much as possible, making a good race. And also over here we catch up with the other group, with the Lamborghini, who gets a little bit too wide, goes into the barrier, goes into the grass. So it's a good thing, and not for me for sure. And the other driver here, the Volkswagen, who was in front of me just along the lap later. This is 4 laps. I've already gained a lot of positions, and the M6 goes, I think, spins round through there, because I think he dipped maybe 2 tires onto the gravel and spins round, helping with the help of the driver who was in front of him. And right here, I decided to go for another lap because the tires were still fresh, I might say, not really that worn. And I do go past to the South African driver who was actually turned into the medium tires, and he had fresher medium tires, and I didn't want to defend. Just wanted to have a clean race, get the most out of it to get more position. So at the end of lap 8, I said go in for my softer tires, no need to refuel because the fuel was okay. And good job by the team right here, very fast, and they do come off at P11, so where I started off, and there's a big gap between me and the Spaniard. Actually, the Spaniard's going to come out behind me, who has medium tires, and 2 laps later, the British guy here makes a mistake there. Doesn't hold it, the jump right there, the lift off the 2 tires, and ends up into the gravel area. So another lap later, we do catch up with this driver over here, the guy from Belgium, who actually baited me into making a mistake, which I didn't want to make. But anyway, again, my confidence was actually building a little bit, and I decided to go on to the right side, but he blocks it off, move on to the far left. He moves me to far left, and I missed my braking point. Good thing I braked a little bit too harder. I didn't want to spin round, but I ended up just doing like a 180, which loses time for me to him, like the competition. And the Spaniard actually, who was behind me, who came off behind me with the Peugeot, do catch up with the elder, actually the British guy that spun round a little bit earlier. He goes in for the launch because he was a little bit too close. I was 0.2 of a second behind, and so far so good. I don't want to like do a lot of defending and lose time to the guys in front. And right here, I do catch up to him, go in for the lunge, but he outbreaks himself and does actually manage to keep it. And so far so good. Almost losing it there a little bit, but anyway, it's good. I'm behind because I'll have the slipstream towards the fast chicane right here. Even if the Belgian also is a little bit slower, we were catching up to them a little bit, just a little bit, by not that much. But the guy in P1 was already like a minute ahead because of the 2 mistakes that I did. And I should have probably been a little bit higher to go off for the move here. And that was lap 15. That's the end of the race, actually. If it was nothing much happening, just smooth race, trying to catch up with everybody else. And actually the Peugeot didn't even go in for his tire change, and he ends up all the way down. He's just going to go all the way down P13, P14 until the last position, I think. But anyway, if you did enjoy this, take care of yourself, take care of each other, like to the video, it will be amazing, and peace.